Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razek at CMTrading. Today's April 23rd, 2019, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, nothing scheduled for today, but as we move along the week, we have major numbers coming up. Now, this is on the back of Good Friday, where most of the markets was closed, and yesterday's Easter Monday, where some of the markets were affected. So a little bit lighter volume yesterday, but taking a recap of the markets over the last couple of days, US dollar is stronger versus all the major currencies. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow is pretty much just flirting at 25,400-ish level, really unchanged. The DAX and the Johannesburg Stock Exchange forge higher though, okay, which is really an important event because the DAX usually pushes the Dow higher as well. Now looking at the commodities, gold flirting at support at 1275 and oil presses higher to $64 a barrel. Now that is also on the back of some sort of news event where the United States is passing waivers on Iranian oil, which is like the last section of sanctions on Iran, and as such pushing the price of oil higher, and that usually pushes the Dow higher as well. So just because the Dow didn't push higher yesterday doesn't mean that it won't push later today. Now looking at stocks, Alcoa had a recovery, was trading at the bottom of its range. I did cover it last week, and then the FANG stocks gained momentum and are trading higher. So I do expect some momentum in the Dow Jones later today. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, which is pushing higher at its 5,300-ish level. Okay, very important level. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're starting here with the Euro USD, and as it's stated, okay, as before, it's really maintaining its downwards momentum, okay, really carried by the GBP. We're trading right now at 1250, okay, which is at the bottom range, okay. We're only just a little bit shy of our 1200-ish level on the bottom range, right between our 113-ish level and 112-ish level. So we're just trading in the mid range of that, okay. But certainly if we do get some momentum on the downside, we could see it further correct itself, as we did take that dive from last Friday, as a correction against the US dollar. Now looking at the GBP USD, really, we mentioned this earlier last week. Over the past couple of weeks, we are still in that downwards trend, okay, haven't really broken it, and we're really flirting at the bottom range of that 129.88-ish level. If we break this area, we could see it further decline to this 128-ish area, okay. So there's still room for this to correct itself on the downside, okay, as it's making this wedge formation. Look at that, okay, beautiful wedge formation right there. So I do expect it to falter at some point, so just keep an eye on that as that actually continues to correct itself. Now the Aussie dollar also corrected itself on the downside, 71.26-ish level, after gaining some sort of momentum to 71.90-ish level to the 7200-ish level, but then breaking apart. So we're at that mid-range right now, okay, between the 71.90 to 7200-ish level and 70.86-ish level. So with that said, okay, if we don't bounce around this area, we could see it further decline back to the bottom of the range. Now looking at gold, all right, so we mentioned this last week, okay, if we look at a 4-hour chart, we faltered at 1307-ish level and just sold off down to 1270, and we're right now trading at 1275. Nothing to really write home about, okay, but it's still pretty strong relatively to where it came from last year of 1212-ish level, over 50 points above that. Okay, so as long as we don't break this 1270-ish level, we could see it, trade between 1270 and 1293-ish level, and technically speaking, that's where we should be. Okay, now looking at oil, now this is really the biggest story. We're trading right now at $65 a barrel. Beautiful rally we had yesterday, okay, really on the back of this news between United States and Iran. And as we continue forging higher, our next resistance level is 66.43. Let's look at a daily chart, okay, bring you back into that, bigger momentum move that we had since moving from December. Okay, as we continued forging higher, the next real resistance level, $66 a barrel. Okay, above that, 67, 69, and ultimately our bigger resistance is at 74. Okay, so all these minor resistance levels are potential reversal levels, but at the end of the day, this could continue going up to $74 a barrel. So just be aware of that. Now this is forging higher. I'd like to see some continued strength today. If it does continue its momentum on the upside. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, as this has gotten stronger, we're pretty much unched. Okay, nothing really to write home about. We kind of had like a big, I don't want to say a big rally, but we definitely rallied to almost our highs, 26,600-ish level. We're trading right now at 26,500-ish level, but I'd like to see some continued buying here, okay? Because when we look at the stocks, we see that they are getting stronger, and I'd like to see them forge ahead. Now, looking at the JSE, strong like a bull. Look at that at 53,530, and we're really closing in on our all-time highs of 54,000. Look at that. And we mentioned this when it was back down here, okay, at 49,435-ish level. We mentioned this several times, and this is really the play of the day as it's gotten stronger since, March of last year. Okay, since March of this year, excuse me, and we've been forging ahead ever since it broke above this 50,000 level. Okay, really important factor to consider. Now, looking at the DAX as well, we are stronger there at 255, excuse me, and we are forging higher. Okay, so this does have to have some follow through. Now, what is very promising with the Dow Jones is that if we look at the Alcoa stock, okay, we were trading between these 2 areas, $29.75 or $30 a share, and $26 a share. Now, if we look at that, it capitulated right there. Okay, just last week, and we mentioned this. It was on support level $26. I'm just used to discussing the Dow. So we are forging higher at $28 a share. Now, it does need to continue its rally for it to forge as a upwards trend, and I'd like to see that happen. But looking at the FANG stocks, all strong. Apple on its highs, $203. If you look at Amazon on its highs, $18.85. Okay, now this is almost a complete recovery from our sell-off back in October, November-ish time, okay, which is a massive recovery. Okay, really the markets are strong and it's showing that it's forging higher, and we just need to have follow through in order to assess that. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin. All right, now this is maybe one of the things that are pushing us higher as Bitcoin is pushing to the 5,400-ish level. We're just shy of that right now, and we're there with some momentum. Okay, so if this forges higher, it can continue going even higher than that. Our next resistance level is 6,000, so just be aware of that. Okay, we have over 600 points to get there, but you could see that it's, with the momentum, it's not just a wick, it's a full candle move, which means that there's actual buying here. Okay, but just be aware that that is a little bit of a resistance to that right there. But if we do forge higher above 54.50, you could expect it to go all the way up to 6,000-ish level. Okay, so just be aware that that's a major recovery. Okay, now we were covering this back here and we were mentioning it that it was getting stronger at these levels. Okay, so the fact that it's gotten up here is not a surprise, and you should already be in the money. Okay, you don't like to chase things, but sometimes, as these things are very strong and they're very vicious, the moves are very, very extreme, they may have some tremendous follow through. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.